folks. Eric Bakker, the naturopath. Thanks for coming back to my YouTube channel. It's always good. Now, let's talk about going to the toilet, but this time we're not going to talk about number 2. We're going to talk about number 1. All right? We're going to talk about urination. So we're going to talk about nocturnal polyuria. Wow, sounds a cool name, isn't it? Nocturnal polyuria. What a name for a person. Nocturnal means night, and poly means many. Urine, polyuria, so many urine at night. So when you understand a bit of that language, you can sort of understand what the words mean. But what does that mean, peeing at night more than during the day? Well, it could mean several things. One of the things I look at if someone complains about excessive urination at night, I look at how much they're drinking during the day. I look at the caffeine intake. I look at the stress of the person, the size of them, if they've got circulatory disorders. Many people with nocturnal polyuria, for example, that may have puffy feet or swollen legs, they can have circulatory dysfunction. They can have edema, like water pooling in the bottom. And of course, then when they're lying down at night, the gravity no longer keeps the fluid down there. It allows it to distribute through the body, so they've got to get up and pee, because the kidneys can finally get that fluid that their heart wasn't capable of moving around. You know, the bloodstream wasn't really functioning as well. This could be what we call congestive heart failure. There could be many reasons why this is occurring. It could also be a circulatory problem. There could be an issue with the veins of the person. They could have a venous, problem. So it could also be a diabetic issue. It could be, a diabetes 1, diabetes 2. It could be some diabetic problem there going on there. It's either excessive fluid intake or diabetes or some type of circulatory issue. But sometimes polyuria, nocturnal or even in the day, can also be a result of a food allergy. I know myself, if I have one coffee every day, good coffee, nice espresso coffee. I make Tracy 2 coffees, I make 1 for myself. But I know when I've had that coffee, it's 2 shots. And when I have that in the morning, say around 9 or half 9, then I'm on the toilet urinating 2 or 3 or 4 times after that. So the caffeine really affects me strongly. And that's why I probably drink twice as much water as I would do coffee. And I feel fine. So if some people, for example, find caffeine helps to stimulate the bowels, other the bladder, some both. So I would recommend you cut back a bit on the fluid during the day, drink more water and less caffeine, because caffeine can be a big problem. If you're a guy, you could have BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. So that's non-cancer, but it's just an enlargement of the prostate that guys my age often get, sort of and beyond. And that means that the urine can happen more at night, smaller volumes. There could be ineffectual urging. If you're a female, and especially if there's a history of urinary tract infection or bladder problem, there could be something else going on. And in that case, you might need to visit your doctor or urologist, do some advanced testing to see what's happening. But let's just come back to brass tacks here. If it's active at night only, the first thing you're going to do, obviously, is look at your fluid intake, look at your circulation, and look at what you're eating. Because if you're eating food repetitively that's causing an issue, it could also cause a bladder issue, because foods can upset the bladder quite a lot. I've seen some amazing cases over the year. I'll never forget the case of a man who saw me who couldn't stop urinating. And this poor man worked as an engineer in a large, big oil refinery or some plant like that. And he hit his head. He was walking on a gangway and he hit his head in some particular way that it affected his bladder. And for years after, we had to put him on a particular type of herb. I found a herb called Candida. It worked wonderful on his bladder. It helped to control his bladder. But that was a bladder out of control through a head injury. I mean, of all things, would you believe it? So, but if you can find the cause for this, you're going to be in a good place. All right. Thanks for tuning in.